we will go over some past science Olympiad problems on Dynamic Planet on the topic of glaciers. So this will be on valley glaciers. What glacial structure does the arrow indicate? So notice that it's a curved bowl-like feature, so we automatically should think of the cirque glacier, and yes, the answer is D. And also notice how A, end moraine, is a depositional feature which is not indicated by the arrow. Ablation zone is where there is more loss of glacier than accumulation. That's not right either. An arête is basically a ridge that separates two valleys, which is not the answer, so the answer is D. What type of glacier is shown in the image to the left? So notice how it spreads out like a lobe, so we should think of the Piedmont Glacier, so the answer is C. What would need to occur to transform an arête into a pyramidal peak? So an arête is a narrow ridge of rock between the two valleys. So for an arête into a pyramidal peak, so a pyramidal peak is basically a horn where multiple cirques meet. So B is the answer. What type of glacier is associated with the feature in the photograph? The first thing we should note is that we see a valley in the image, so the answer would be D. So, which of the following contributes to melting of glaciers? This is a review question. So, air temperatures, definitely, because the warmer temperatures, the faster it evaporates and melts. B, geothermal heat is also true. C is also true because obviously glaciers would probably melt slower at the pole areas compared to the equator, assuming if glaciers exist there. So the answer is E, all of the above. Alpine glaciation is found in mountainous regions. That is correct. So we could also look at the other answer choices, which doesn't really make sense. B says exists where a large part of a continent is covered by glacial ice. This definition is more relevant to the term ice sheets. So A is the right answer here. Which type of glaciers occupy mountain valleys? So the answer would be A. E also makes sense, but E is more spread out on the floodplain or area below the valley, so A would be the best answer here, and A is correct. Which type of glaciers occupy at the lowland at mountain fronts? This would be E, Piedmont glaciers. Alpine glacier is a very general term that describes valley glaciers. Alpine glaciers involve cirques and hanging and Piedmont glaciers, but the question specifies the mountain fronts and the lowland, so it will be Piedmont glaciers, since we call Piedmont glaciers spread on the floodplain area in a lobe shape or a fan shape. Okay, so which of the following depositional features would you look for to assess whether an area has gone glaciation? So the first word here you know to see is depositional. The question asks for depositional features, and when you look at the answer choices, a horn, arête, or coast, those are erosional features. Hanging valleys are also erosional features, and the only answer that's not erosional is terminal moraines. So you could use process of elimination here, so the answer is C. What is the name for an amphitheater-like hollow that forms at the head of glacier? This is easy. The answer is C. Again, you could use process of elimination, but it would be easier to just memorize the definition of a cirque.